On August 21, 1986, the people living near Lake Nyos in Cameroon went to bed expecting an ordinary night. The day had been peaceful. Farmers had finished their work. Children had played outside. Families gathered for dinner before settling into their homes. Nothing seemed unusual. Nothing seemed dangerous. The lake nearby was calm and quiet, just as it had always been. No one imagined that before sunrise, thousands of lives. Lake Nyos is a deep volcanic crater lake located in northwestern Cameroon. To the people living nearby, it was simply part of the landscape. A beautiful body of water surrounded by green hills and farmland. For generations, families lived beside it without fear. But beneath the peaceful surface was a deadly secret. Far below the water, volcanic gases were constantly seeping into the lake from deep underground. Year after year, decade after decade, the gas slowly accumulated at the bottom. Invisible. Silent. Waiting. Scientists later compared it to a giant bottle of soda being shaken for years without anyone opening the cap. The pressure kept building. And one night, the cap finally came off. Late in the evening, something triggered a massive release of carbon dioxide trapped deep beneath the lake. No one knows exactly what caused it. Some believe it was a landslide. Others think a natural disturbance deep underwater set it off. Whatever the cause, the result was catastrophic. Millions of tons of carbon dioxide suddenly burst from the lake. A towering column of water shot into the air. Then the gas began spreading outward. The cloud was unlike anything most people had ever seen. Carbon dioxide is colorless. It has no smell. It makes no sound. And because it is heavier than air, it doesn't rise. It sinks. The deadly gas rolled down the hillsides and into nearby valleys. As it moved, it pushed oxygen out of the air. The villages below had no warning. No sirens. No explosions. No cries for evacuation. Most victims never knew anything was wrong. Entire families died in their sleep. Parents beside their children. Grandparents beside their grandchildren. Neighbors beside neighbors. The gas entered homes and filled rooms. As oxygen disappeared, people simply lost consciousness. Within minutes, they were gone. No struggle. No panic. No chance to escape. When morning arrived, the silence was overwhelming. Birds were gone. Animals lay motionless. Entire villages appeared frozen in time. Some survivors who had been on higher ground slowly made their way back. At first, they couldn't understand what they were seeing. People were lying where they had slept. Others were found beside their homes. Many appeared perfectly normal. There were no burns. No wounds. No signs of violence. It looked as if life itself had simply stopped. One survivor later described waking up and feeling strangely weak. When he looked around, everyone near him was dead. Friends. Family members. Neighbors. Gone. Across the region, similar stories emerged. People waking up alone. Children discovering their parents had died during the night. Families completely erased in a matter of hours. The emotional devastation was unimaginable. The disaster affected more than people. Thousands of animals also died. Cattle. Goats. Birds. The livestock that families depended on for survival vanished almost overnight. For many survivors, the tragedy was both personal and economic. Everything they knew had been taken away. News of the disaster spread quickly. Government officials rushed to the area. Medical teams arrived. Scientists from around the world began investigating. At first, nobody knew what had happened. Some feared a disease outbreak. Others suspected poison. There were even rumors of supernatural forces. The scene was so strange that many struggled to find a logical explanation. Entire villages had died without any obvious cause. Eventually, researchers uncovered the truth. Lake Nyos had experienced what is known as a limnic eruption. A rare natural phenomenon where dissolved carbon dioxide suddenly erupts from deep water. Before 1986, few people had even heard of such an event. Now the world was witnessing one of the deadliest examples ever recorded. Scientists estimated that more than 1 million tons of carbon dioxide had been released. The gas cloud traveled for miles. Everything in its path was affected. The final death toll was horrifying. More than 1,700 people lost their lives. Thousands more animals died. Entire communities were devastated. Some villages lost most of their population. Families disappeared forever. And unlike many disasters, there was no dramatic explosion, no raging fire, and no collapsing buildings. Death arrived quietly. Almost peacefully. Which somehow made the tragedy even more terrifying. Years later, engineers developed systems designed to prevent another disaster. Large pipes were installed in the lake. These pipes slowly release carbon dioxide before dangerous levels can build up again. Today, they stand as a constant reminder of what happened. A reminder that even the most peaceful places can hide deadly dangers beneath the surface. Visitors who see Lake Nyos today might never guess its history. The water appears calm. The surrounding hills are beautiful. Nature seems peaceful. But beneath that peaceful appearance lies the memory of one of the strangest and most chilling disasters ever recorded. A disaster that killed without sound. Without warning. Without mercy. Nearly 40 years later, survivors still remember that night. The night when entire villages went to sleep. And never woke up. And that is the dark hidden history of the Lake Nyos disaster.